Good morning. This is PJ. It is Sunday, September 12th. It's the 16th Sunday after Pentecost. We are in year B. It is Sunday, so we will be reading and listening in to the 4 scriptures that we'll have at our worship service. Let us start with our first reading. Our first reading today comes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 50, verses 4 through 9. The Lord God has given me the tongue of a teacher, that I may know how to sustain the weary with a word. Morning by morning, he wakens my ear to listen as those who are taught. The Lord God has opened my ear, and I was not rebellious. I did not turn backward. I gave my back to those who struck me, and my cheeks to those who pulled on my beard. I did not hide my face from insult and spitting. The Lord God helps me. Therefore I have not been disgraced. Therefore I have set my face like flint, and I know that I should not be put to shame. He who vindicates me is near. Who will contend with me? Let us stand up together. We who are my adversaries, let them comfort me. It is the Lord God who helps me and who will declare me guilty. Our psalm reading today comes from the book of Psalms 116, verses 1 through 9. Listen in to these words. I love the Lord because he has heard my voice and my supplications, because he inclined his ear to me. Therefore I will call on him as long as I live. The snares of death, they encompassed me. The page of Sheol laid hold of me. I suffered distress and anguish. Then I called on the name of the Lord. O Lord, I pray, save my life. Gracious is the Lord, and righteous. Our God is merciful. The Lord protects the simple. When I was brought low, he saved me. Return, O my soul, to your rest, for the Lord has dealt bountiful with you. For you have delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, and my feet from stumbling. I walk before the Lord in the land of the living. Our New Testament reading, which is our second reading of the day, comes from the book of James, chapter 3, verses 1 through 12. Not many of you should be teachers, my brothers and sisters, for you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness. For all of us make many mistakes. Anyone who makes no mistake in speaking is perfect, able to keep the whole body in check with the bridle. If we put bits into the mouth of the horses to make them obey us, we guide their whole bodies. Or look at ships. Though they are so large that it takes strong winds to drive them, yet they are guided by a very small rudder, wherever the will of the pilot directs. So also is the tongue. It is a small member, yet it boards of great exploits. How great a forest is set ablaze by a small fire. And the tongue is a fire. The tongue is placed among our members as a world of iniquity. It stains the whole body, sets it on fire, the cycle of nature. And it itself is set on by fire, by hell. For every species of beast and bird and reptile and sea creature can be tamed and has been tamed by the human species. But no one can tame the tongue, a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With it, we bless the Lord and Father, and with it, we curse those who are made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth comes blessing and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this ought not to be so. Does a spring pour forth from the same opening both fresh and brackish water? Can a fig tree, my brothers and sisters, yield olives, or a grapevine figs? No more can salt water yield fresh. Our gospel reading today is from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 8, verses 27 through 38. Jesus went out with the disciples to the village of Caesarea Philippi. And on the way, he asked his disciples, "Who do you people think? Who do people say I am?" And they answered him, "John the Baptist, and others Elijah, and still others one of the prophets." He asked them, "But who do you say I am?" Peter answered him, "You are the Messiah." And Jesus sternly ordered them not to tell anybody about him. Then he began to teach them that the Son of Man must undergo great suffering and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. He said all these quite openly. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But turning and looking at his disciples, he rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan. For you are setting your mind not on the divine, but on the human things." He called the crowd with his disciples and said to them, "If you want to become my followers, let them deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For those who want to save their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake and for the sake of the gospel will save it. For what will it profit to gain the whole world and forfeit their life? Indeed, what can they give in return for their life? Those who are ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of them the Son of Man will also be ashamed when he comes in the glory of the Father with the holy angels." And here ends our readings. I apologize for a little bit of stumbling and the lights that are kind of flickering and going dark. Have a beautiful day, and I hope to see you soon.